Welcome to Jeremiah's Porch Talks. This is where we take a few minutes and talk about leadership and life right from my front porch here in Sykesville, Maryland. Rain or shine, this is a time for us to reflect, reset, and get ready for whatever comes next in our respective journeys. I'm Jeremiah. Thanks for joining me. There's a quiet truth most of us carry. Somewhere along the way, we started believing the limits others place on us. Maybe it was a teacher, a coach, a neighbor. Maybe it was a close relative or someone in a position of authority who said something that stuck. You're not smart enough. You'll never leave this town. You'll never succeed. And without even knowing it, we start shaping our decisions around those limits. And we end up limiting ourselves. I know this feeling all too well. About 10 years ago, my daughter was told by professionals in the medical community at a children's hospital of all places that she would likely never finish high school and that college wasn't even a remote possibility. That the system couldn't support her. And the reason? Her executive functioning was too low. She was facing possibilities of psychosis. Her brain just didn't work the same as everyone. You know what happened later that same day that she was told that? As we were standing together looking outside the window of our sliding glass door in our kitchen. She looked up at me. She was steady and confident. And she said, "Dad, I'm not going to listen to them. If I want to go to college, I'm going to college." And in that moment, her stars changed. She didn't internalize their lack of hope. She refused to let someone else's limited vision of her become her reality. And since then, it's been one of the toughest journeys you could imagine. She's gone through special schooling, hospitalizations, one-on-one support, crisis interventions. There was even a moment, an imaginable one to most, when she was kept in a janitor's closet at her middle school during a mental health crisis to keep her away from the other kids. But she never stopped pushing forward. And now, in just a few days, guess what? She's going to walk across the college graduation stage with her associate's degree in dance. Just imagine what would be possible if we stop believing the limits others place on us. The limits others place on us, or that we place on ourselves, only work if we allow them to. But here's the secret. We don't have to let those limits hold us back. And my daughter never did. I spent 2 years driving her to school every morning during the height of her medical crisis. And every single day, rain, shine, whether there were tears involved, I gave her a pep talk, and then another pep talk, and then another one. And honestly, I never knew if any of it was getting through. But I just kept showing up with hope every single day. And somewhere in those miles, in those moments, she started to believe that she could fight for whatever she wanted to be in life. And she became her own source of belief. You know, we all face voices, some loud, some subtle, that try to tell us who we are and what we can and can't be. But here's the truth. Most of the limits we face aren't real. They're inherited, they're imposed, they're imagined, and they can be broken. So what if I were to tell you that your next breakthrough was possible? All you had to do was stop limiting yourself. That may seem harder than it really is. When I say stop limiting yourself, all I'm saying is stop telling yourself no when an opportunity comes around and instead say, yes, I'll try it. In time, your confidence will grow and you'll get more comfortable with not limiting yourself, and you'll feel emboldened to do more and more. So here's the challenge for today. Identify one limit, just one, that you've accepted as truth, but deep down, you know it's not true. Maybe someone told you you're too old to start over, or that your background isn't good enough, or that your dream is too unrealistic. Whatever it is, push against it by telling yourself, imagine if I could do it. You may be surprised what happens next. Because I'll tell you, if my daughter can dance her way across the stage, which she's going to do in a couple days, that no one ever thought she'd reach, then I promise you, you can take that next step too. We are so much more than the limits others give us or that we impose on ourselves. And when we stop limiting ourselves and we begin imagining the possibilities of what could be next, everything changes. That's it for today. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on Jeremiah's Porch Talks. Rain or shine, I'll see you next time. And always remember to keep the most important things.